Hello. Hello and welcome to Grooving on a Saturday Afternoon. A new series. I'll do this occasionally. Don't forget to watch The BONZOLEUM Show. Thursdays at 11 p.m. Eastern, which now will be daylight time pretty soon. 10 Midwest, like Chicago. God, I'm messing up my Chicago accent. Let's just get on to the jamming, shall we? All right, so this is just Grooving on a Saturday Afternoon. On a Saturday. My buddy Frank was here. He did a few tinkerings. He's the Pope. He'll be interviewed at some point. There's going to be interviews on The BONZOLEUM Show. Fuck it, man. I gotta start this from the tippity top. Oh, too bad I didn't get that in there. You gotta hit that second one's gotta be hit just so. No. Hang on. Wrong. I gotta get so much shite out of my pockets. Ow! That was agony in the garden. Oh my God, and I don't mean the Madison Square. All right, so here we go. So this is it, man. I got my 26 set back up. I have a 10 by 14 silver spark with red stripe. And then my 12 by 17 diameter. I gotta clean up that stripe. See how it clashes with the other? See how it clashes with the other ones? All right, so here we are. Here we are at BONZOLEUM Studios, Chicagoland, Illinois. Grooving on a Saturday. I almost. If I break this, this is the only one I have of. Somebody made the reissues of the Ralph Kester Ching ring. They were available for like 10 years. And when they first sold them, they didn't call them Ching. They didn't use the Ching ring name. They just called it a hi-hat tambourine. But it looked pretty much exactly like the Ching ring. Except the original Ching ring is nickel plated, okay? Whereas the reissue, as they started to call it, and then they stopped selling them not long after that. I think the Ralph Kester people might have gotten them. But you know, it's funny, the actual Chings on the ring are actually shaped different. It's like the ones here. It's like the ones on the reissue are sort of like a Novo China in Peisteberg, whereas these are just they're sort of inverted. I don't know. So here's the original. It's a little more Christmas Santa bell sound. If that falls, hang on. Just don't want that. That's the first Superphonic I ever had. My brother bought it for me. God love him. And this one's a little. Well, this sounds Santa too. But let's get that off. Okay, it's out. My Sarah is bouncing a little toward me. All right. So anyway, yeah. So my 10x14. Again, it's a Perfection. I think it's sort of like a Kent. The shell is Gretsch though, unless it's a Gretsch Perfection like Marcher. Maybe that's what they call their marching stuff. 12x17. You gotta check out Steve Maxwell's YouTube channel. He and his son have that biz in New York and Chicago. They're moving to Tokyo soon, and also, of course, Bonhamology, where George is slaying it. Bonhamology. And PFOZ. Also, David Ward's Musician on the Record. Don't you love the tone of that, baby? And this is my Peisty Giant Beat Multi. This is my 1976 2000 15-inch sound edge bottom. And over that is a Peisty 505 medium hi-hat bottom. Sometimes I find a slightly heavier, well, not even slightly heavier, but a heavier top on the sound edge, at least in B8 Berg. Can't say that for B20. So, yeah, so that's the drums I'm playing. And what else? Got together with George and my friend Ryan this past week. We should have done some taping. We should have recorded it for some Bonhamology or Bonzoleum video. We'll do that again. Oh yeah, so the Bonzoleum show airing Thursdays with interviews. I actually did send an email to Stuart Copeland's management to see if I could be granted an interview. Wouldn't that be great? God, what if I had frickin' Copeland? Of course, I'd have to fly out to California. But we'll see what happens. I hear he's in, well, we'll see what happens. All right. So remember, grooving on the drums. right, so, but there's other stuff I just want to talk about. What else? Well, oh, no, wait, we're grooving on a Saturday. What else? There was really something else I wanted to talk about, though. See, up there, that's my red sparkle 10 by 14 Ludwig that I'm going to put here, too. But I really kind of like... What do you think? Anyone want to vote in this video? I have the Ludwig Mach lugs. Hang on. These babies. I bought these brand new from Ludwig. These are the Mach lugs, okay, for this size drum. Now look at this. Isn't that cool? I think I'm going to put these on because I want it to match my bass drum. You know what I'm saying? But that does look cool, doesn't it? It has a club datey sort of, you know. Slingerland. What was the Slingerland club date called? I forget. Those were cool drums too. And Rogers had center lug. But those are actual Gretsch lugs. And of course Gretsch had center lug. Put those there. So back to groove drumming and then we'll fade out. I do have to get some editing capabilities. It's gotta be a little tighter. Well, I'm going to break these sticks, though. Oh, no. These are my new Pro Marks. This stick is about to break. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on a second here. Anyone tell me in the comments below possibly what Police song that is the intro to that Copeland is playing there. All right, I'm going to try. So we're grooving. Oh, hang on a second here. Bear with me. Suddenly I started making this video, and suddenly I'm sort of like, wait, smart ass, what are you going to groove with? All right, let's fire it around with the halftime shuffle. Because the only way to really is just to play. You just got to keep playing until you sort of hear it how you hear it in your head. I know crashes in it. I'm just going to play it without crashes. I think that sort of messes it up. Well, it's not really grooving. Well, I guess, I don't know. So we got to shuffle it, right? let me try the Fool in the Rain. You know, the Fool in the Rain is just so. I don't like the way, there's something I'm doing wrong in Fool in the Rain. He's got to come off again. So. Hang on. Time out. Remember, somebody, if they can find the dies for the... Bill Rotella. Bill Rotella is the guy I was talking about who had his hands on all these old CNC keys. These 3-way keys, or 4-way keys, actually. No relation to CNC Cardwell and Carrington Drum Company of today. Man. That's heavy. That's a heavy... you know what? This one is... No, you know, it's not even that heavy. It's 1198 grams. What am I talking about? It's not even that heavy for a bottom. All right, ready? All right. Hang on. All right, let me give it a whirl. Okay, now bear with me here. Like, seriously, I haven't played Fool in the Rain for, well, I haven't asked around with her for about maybe 8 months. So... See, that hi-hat sounds like shit when I do it. It's a weird bark. I gotta play it heel down then. I'll switch sticks. Yeah. Jumped to that too soon. All right, so that's it for Saturday. This is Saturday. Grooving on a Saturday. I do have some T-shirts left. This is kind of honestly an accident I have this on. So if anybody wants some T-shirts, there's just like 1 or 2. I think I have a white large left and a white XL. The rest are black ones. In fact, I have to fill a T-shirt order today. So, in all seriousness, remember those aforementioned channels, if you can, just on YouTube. Bonhamology with George Flutis. I know most people here are familiar with that, but Bonhamology. Let's have a word about Bonhamology for it, and indeed PFOZ. And now, see, when I discovered George, he was at a bus station on his last dime. He was sitting there desperate, and I said, George, you look to me like you might be a Led Zeppelin Bonham fan. I'm telling you. George proceeded to come down into my lair and transform himself into John Henry Bonham, man. You know what I'm talking about if you've seen him play. Not to mention, he's like a quintuple threat, as I've said. He can play the drums just like Bonham. He can tune the drums just like Bonham. He has an encyclopedic knowledge of all bootlegs and everything. There are 5. He has the... Now look, what I want you to do if you can, type in Bonhamology Immigrant Song. Or, I'm sorry, PFOZ Immigrant Song. It's one of the first ones he did on the channel there, where what he did is literally sit behind his drums at George Studios and think to himself, like, all right, I'm going to play like a 1970, 71 immigrant song live. Remember, he didn't have those earbuds in his head. He wasn't playing along to them. He just did it in his head. So he proceeded to bang out, like 5 minutes or 7 minutes or whatever. He sends those tracks as is right off to Pete, who then throws his bass drum as is on there with like kind of in it. That's an exceptional feat. It's not like George gives him like a dossier of like, all right, well, after 8 bars, we do this. Pete just, those guys know it so well, he just plays it. And they send it off to Ivan, and he throws it. It's just out of hand. So anyway, George recently on Bonhamology just did the Royal. He has a bunch of tutorials on the Royal Albert Hall solo, the patented 1970 Royal Albert Hall solo. You see, the footage of where you see Eddie Kramer running around behind Bonham taking pictures because Eddie Kramer did the sound. But he just released the other day, like 2 days ago, the full solo, man. You got to watch George doing that. It's amazing. So, see, David Ward's Musicians on the Record. He has an interview on there with Kenny Jones from The Who, man. He's got some famous people on there, man. There's not a lot of views. He needs subscribers and many views. David Ward's Musicians on the Record, okay? So that's it. Thank you for watching on this Saturday. Remember, the Bonzolium show airing Thursdays at 10 p.m. Central, which is Chicago, 11 p.m. East Coast, 4 a.m. London. Sorry, guy. So that's it. Please subscribe if you haven't. I have like 900 videos here on YouTube. Check out my playlists. If you type in Bonzolium playlists into the Google or into the YouTube, you'll see them. I have like many on Bonham, many on Copeland. I have a bunch of drum covers, a bunch of me playing live Zeppelin with the Kashmir guys. So again, thank you very much, and more videos coming real soon. Hang on. Hang on, it's been so long since I've done this. Gosh damn it. That was about a 71%. Hang on a second here. I've only played this 5 trillion times. I even have a freaking tutorial video on it where I remember how to play it. Of course, in the New York version, or live. Thanks for watching.